The other world title is on the line now. The Fiend versus Braun Strowman for the Universal title, because everybody's a champion here at Championship Wrestling, folks. And the Fiend Cup, we used to have matches in less time than these entrances take. After the swamp fight, whenever that was, a month or two ago, I want to see this like I want to have a colonoscopy performed by the guy that pumps out my septic tank. Because Braun Strowman is rotten, and I hate. Everybody say, "Oh, you love Bray Wyatt," and the more I see of him, the more I hate it, because the teleportation and the invulnerability and the fucking lightning bug fun house and the goddamn puppets and the fucking stupid shit that. And this, to me, after seeing Drew McIntyre and Randy Orton, which they are stars, and especially on this program, they were the only thing that even passed for stars. This was like seeing a Memphis main event. Everybody says, "Oh, you love Memphis wrestling, Cornette." Well, sometimes when Lawler was booking and he needed an opponent for a Monday night because they had 52 of those a year and he had nobody else, he'd put Duke Myers in a Halloween costume and tell him not to sell anything. And suddenly, Lawler versus the Colossus of Death. The problem is Braun Strowman is not Jerry Lawler. You can't get a match out of this horse shit. They immediately bailed out and spent 10 minutes on the fucking floor with sloppy fighting that everybody does. In between Braun Strowman hitting the fucking Fiend with everything and it doesn't kill him and he never stays down. I figure they don't use the ring because they can't work. Although I've heard Bray Wyatt can work. Maybe he just can't work with Braun Strowman. I'm pretty sure probably nobody can.
I'm pretty sure he can't work.
Well, I don't know. Braun Strowman would be a nightmare because he's too big to get him to do anything but his own shit. You can't put him where he needs to be. It'd be like working with Andre if Andre didn't know what he was fucking doing.
I agree with you, but I've seen Bray Wyatt in there with really talented guys, and I've never seen a great Bray Wyatt.
Oh, well,
match.
I wasn't going to argue with you there. Maybe it's just he can't work. People have said he can, but people say a lot of things. They fought to the stage. The Fiend, let me get this straight. The Fiend has been run down with vehicles, right? Fiend has been hit with sledgehammers. Fiend has been squashed under things. I don't think he was buried. That was AJ Styles. But the Fiend has had a lot of horrendous things done to him, and he comes right back, right? What, the other night, they loaded Bray Wyatt in the ambulance, and he fucking came out seconds later. Braun Strowman rammed the Fiend's face into the fucking TV screen on the stage, and he sold that. And it was like a light ram, like, we don't want to break this. Oh, shit. They fought to the gorilla position. Ladies and gentlemen, that's what the modern day gorilla position looks like. It used to be about 10 feet square with fucking black curtains over a wooden platform with a table, 2 monitors, and 3 chairs. And that's what the gorilla position was in the 90s. Now, it's this giant room that they actually construct that's room for about 20 people, has all these fucking captain's chair, desk chair, nice plush things, couple of big tables, all these monitors. I think they even pipe air conditioning into it, and there's usually about 20 people there. But since they had to fight in it, there's nobody in there, and of course people didn't know they were coming to the gorilla position. They all just left to take a shit at the same time. Was this a Falls Count Anywhere match, and I didn't realize that?
I don't know.
Because the referee was counting in the gorilla position. Counted a fall. Then they went back out to the stage. Braun Strowman was trying to sell. I noted that he had hardway color from something. And the pace of this match was now glacial. I predict that it would take approximately 747 million years of this match to create the Grand Canyon. There's a reason Bruiser Brody and Abdullah the Butcher didn't go 30 minutes. This is it. If you're going to be 2 fucking big guys that's going to have a fucking fight, get in and get out before they can see through it. They had an AEW moment. Did you see that Braun Strowman was so mad at the Fiend that he punched the mat beside the Fiend's head 6 times right in a row?
I did see that, yes.
They just think this is okay now. They don't even realize they're on television. Somebody said, oh, it was the director's fault when the fucking Lucha brother was doing it on AEW the other day when he was punching his own arm instead of the guy's head. Well, it's the director's fault. The director expects that the fucking wrestlers, if they're on television, know how to work by this point, which in AEW is a drastic overassumption. But you would think that they'd, at this point, in the WWE, they'd be able to, no. Just punch the fucking mat next to his head. One of the announcers said something, and he's hammer fisting him. Anyway, then Braun Strowman goes back out on the floor, ladies and gentlemen, and he calmly walks over to the toolbox that they've used before. He gets the box cutter. He's now got a razor-sharp box cutter in his hand, and there's no rules to this, and he's got an invulnerable supernatural opponent. So instead of just cutting his fucking throat with the box cutter, he sliced the canvas and the padding off the ring and tore and pulled it up. They had to find them a Mac Daddy of a box cutter, first of all, to cut those goddamn canvases. And secondly, that fucking padding's pretty thick, too. It didn't look like they used the normal padding they use. It looked like they used the old styrofoam stuff that would cut easier, because they have this fucking shit that we used to get in OVW. It's like an inch thick, but you can drop an egg on it from 6 feet high and it won't fucking break. It's very shock absorbing, but it's thick. So anyway, somewhere or another, he slices up the canvas and the pad, turns it up. He's going to slam the Fiend on the exposed, unforgiving wood of the ring structure. But since he's turned his back on his opponent forever, the guy that is impossible to kill, that comes back from every goddamn major injury, he just decides after he puts him down after one bump, he's going to go out, get in the toolbox, get this thing, slice up the fucking ring, pull all this shit up, take some time. And when he turns around, Brian, wouldn't you know who won the pony? Guess who's standing there looking at Braun Strowman? The Fiend. Back on his feet. And then the Fiend gives Braun Strowman a rotten bottom. I don't know, it's because Strowman was so big and heavy, he can't get up, he was blowed up, whatever the fuck it was. This was rotten. And then two of the most awkward Sister Abigails on the wood ever, probably again because Strowman is 380 pounds and he can't move him around, and he's so what the fuck, and giving him that goddamn move. It looked like a monkey fucking a football. And then he beat him 1, 2, 3. Flat as fuck, and Braun Strowman looks even more like a meat-headed dumb fuck than he ever has before for the way that he lost without even an out. Just beat your baby face flat in the middle and make him look stupid right before you do it. So, when I thought it couldn't get any worse, it didn't get any worse, because it couldn't. But Roman Reigns hit the ring and tackled the Fiend and beat the shit out of him and then speared Braun Strowman and then hit him with 8, I will say full force. It wasn't full force. 8 hard chair shots across the back. The first few were pretty stiff, and then he caught on that he can hit the fucking floor on the other side of Strowman and bend the back of the chair, and it won't be as bad as fucking hitting Strowman. But not one good safe, not Roman Reigns coming in, spearing the fucking Fiend. Boom, knocking him out of his boots. Spearing fucking Braun Strowman. He rolls to the floor, hit a big move on the Fiend, lay him out, roll out to the floor, grab a chair. One good, safe shot to the fucking head. Boom. Down goes fucking the Fiend, or not the Fiend, but Braun Strowman. And then stand there and get your glory. 8 fucking shots to the back like that? I don't want a motherfucker hitting me with a chair that hard 8 times. I want one shot to the head by somebody that knows how to give it to me, because I know how to take it, and I'll sell it. 8 fucking shots to the back. What the fuck? Like it's safe to hit you in the back with a metal chair. They quit doing the one shot to the head that'd knock you out and everybody knows it, and that's why you can get away with selling it like that. And people who know how to do it, to let everybody beat each other over the back unmercifully, full force with the same fucking chair. It's the stupidest goddamn. So anyway, then he speared the Fiend again. If the Fiend had been up to his feet after fucking Roman Reigns, my goddamn major top baby face, speared him and beat the shit out of him before, I'd have fired the fucking Fiend. They just can't. They have to do too much. They can't do it any other way. They can't make shit mean anything. They just have to beat you literally over the head with everything. My last line on these notes, I couldn't delete this show fast enough. Great that Roman Reigns is back.
You ordered the pay-per-view? You didn't watch this on... You ordered the pay-per-view? You didn't watch this on the network?
I wasn't going to sit here in front of my fucking computer for that long. I was in my goddamn recliner on watching my 82-inch to make it more palatable. But anyway, what'd you think of that last one?
It sucked. You know it sucked. You know there's nothing I could say to shine that one up. It was garbage. I don't want to see either one of those guys anymore. I don't want to see this feud anymore. How did it not end with Braun Strowman being drowned in the swamp?
That's what I was going to say. They fought in a fucking swamp and one guy got drowned. And then they come back and have a fucking match. Talk about following a shooting with a stabbing. For fuck's sake, there's no sense of pacing. All the goofy writers just get goofy ideas and pitch them to the goofy talent, and then the goofy talent says, oh, we can do this, and then they don't have any fucking concept. They don't go from one place to another by the direct route. They're all over the fucking page. This does not resemble the profession that I spent 40 years in. So, and it's not that hard. It shouldn't be this hard. They got tools and material. They got no goddamn carpenters.
On the bright side, it's nice to see Roman Reigns back. Hope he's happy and healthy.
On the bright side, as Lawler once said one time, it's nice to see Roman Reigns is back, especially after seeing his front.
I guess he came back with all new teeth. Maybe that's why he was gone so long. Yeah, apparently he has all new teeth, which I later saw Randy Orton made fun of him about on social media.
I didn't know his teeth were bad.
I think they were fine, but now they're like just perfect white, ready for the movies, like just perfect fake teeth. Another bright side of the show, at least we didn't see the Ninja Army come and mess with the broadcast, although maybe if they had shut off the broadcast, it would have been a positive.
They would have turned them into the biggest babyface group in history. If they'd have shut this fucking broadcast off. That's what they should. They should have had a shot from the back of the master switch, the big fucking switch on the wall. It had the goddamn ninja going, we're going to do it. We're going to do it. And everything go black.